Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Is my voice audible to everybody? Is there any issues with the audio or the video, guys? Is there any issues with the audio or the video, guys? Please let me know. Everybody is able to listen to me properly. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. The voice is audible. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Okay, all good. Okay, great. Awesome, guys. Awesome. So I was just in the cab right now. I just came right now. I was in the office. It took me a while to reach from my office to the recording studio itself. Oh, I slept off in the cab, and here I am. So, okay. So how was your day, guys? How was your day? Good, great, awesome, amazing. What was the scenario? Not so good. How was your day, guys? Great, good and productive. Better than yesterday. Okay, that's good. Today was my exam. Okay, worst. What happened, Batman? Batman, nice name by the way. I love Batman. Batman is one of my favorite comic character itself. So yeah, just came from Cisco seminar. Okay, that's good. That's really informative. I guess so that the Cisco seminar was informative for you. Awesome. Okay, that's good, guys. Good. But I like Asta. Asta, it's so that would be from manga. So comics and manga, I think so. You guys should not confuse the two. Manga is usually Korean or Japanese based, whereas comics is usually your US, UK based, Indian based itself. So that will be your comics. Okay, tomorrow is also my exam. Okay, that's sad to hear. But okay, no issues in that as well. Okay, कैंडी कंफर्म कि जो लोग व्हाट्सएप पर मैसेज कर रहे हैं और क्लेम कर रहे हैं कि वो डेवटाउन की टीम से हैं वो रियल है कि नहीं इफ़ नॉट एंड हाउ दे गेट माई डिटेल्स input in Google form. So I don't know who is calling you, but if you have applied for the internship at DevTown, maybe that is the reason why they are reaching out to you. I've completed 3 boot camps, did not receive the certificates. Kishore Tyade, if that is the scenario, just send the details of your screenshots of the Google Form responses that you might have received on your email ID. If you have used different email IDs to fill up your Google form than the one that you used on YouTube to attend the seminar, if you have not attended all the days of the boot camp, you are absent on some of the days itself. Some days I take up 2 attendances, 3 attendances in the same day. So if you have not filled all the attendances, then you will not be able to receive the certificates. So punctuality is something that we value a lot. So if in that case that you have attended all the classes, just send the screenshots of that along with your details of the boot camps and yours to certificate@devtown.in, and we'll be able to help you out with the same. Okay, so just do that and you will receive your certificates. Okay, great, guys. Awesome. So shall we start our today's class, guys? Please let me know. Shall we start our today's class, guys? Please let me know. Yes? Okay, great. So today is the first practical day, okay, of the boot camp. This is the last boot camp. Certificates have not yet been released. It is taking us some time to validate them. So by tomorrow, I guess so, it will be released at the latest. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's get started. Let me share my screen first of all with you guys. Share screen. It has screen. Okay, does anybody know the actual reason why do I use Colab to do AI work or to make AI projects or to do Python based programming itself? Why do I use Google Colab? Does anybody know the reason for that? Any of you guys? See, we are here to learn, right? We are here to learn new things. We are here to learn. Even if you're wrong, it's totally fine, because we are not here claiming that we know everything. Even I don't know anything. Okay, being very frank with you guys, I don't know anything right over here. So I'm also here to learn with you guys. So what do you think is the main reason to use Google Colab? Some of you guys are saying that it is pre-installed with all the libraries. It is easy and free. It has all the things built in right over there. It provides free access to computing resources, including GPUs and TPUs. Very good right over there. But again, not the right answer. Although yes, Google Colab is free to use, although yes, it comes with all the different things that you need to learn AI, that you need to make AI inbuilt in them. It comes with access to great CPUs, GPUs and TPUs for free, but that is not the reason why we use Colab. The main reason why I use Colab is because I have lost more than 2 lakh rupees by not using Colab. I've lost 2 lakh rupees by not using Colab. Now you guys will be like, whoa, 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 what happened right over there? So the main reason, so any AI based model, whether you're talking about artificial intelligence, whether you're talking about machine learning, deep learning, whether you're talking about, let's say, transformer models, whether you're talking about large language models itself, these are very, very, very resource intensive applications. Okay, resource intensive, what do I mean by that? They require a lot of your CPU, your GPU, your RAM to actually just run, not even to work, just to run, to just like come into fruition itself. Now I started learning AI and data science when there was no concept of Google Colab. So if you're running a machine learning model or a deep learning model directly on your computer, it is going to utilize the CPU, your GPU, or the RAM of your computer. And these applications might have to run, depending upon how powerful your computer is, it might take up 3 to 4 days of continuous running, in which the application is going to use 100% of the resources from your computer for continuously 24 hours straight for 3 days. And that might cause your motherboard, that might cause your CPU and GPU to get fried. Okay, what do I mean by fried? Basically, it will just burn off. Your computer will be dead. I've lost 2 computers, a MacBook Pro and an HP Pavilion X360 with an i7 processor. I've lost both of them. So I always suggest you guys as well that while you're learning, while you're practicing stuff, always use Google Colab, because you will not be coding on your computer, you will be coding on a server on a particular computer of Google's. And a Google computer will always come up with the best GPU, the best CPU, the best TPUs for you guys to use at the end of the day, making your work much more faster and efficient at the same time, while making sure that you are not losing laptops like me. Okay, so these are some of the things that you guys need to take care of. Okay, so we will also be using Google Colab today. So just search for Colab on Google, COLAB. Again guys, what are we going to do today? Do not, have you guys brought in the notebook and pen that I told you guys to do yesterday? You have your notebook and your pen guys from yesterday. I told you guys, right, how to study in today's class? Okay, great. I love you guys, man. I love you guys. You guys listen to me. You're going to make me cry. Okay, thank you so much, guys. So we're going to search for Google Colab. We'll just click on the very first link. Okay, and we'll click on this new notebook. Okay, new notebook right over here. So it will open up a new notebook for us. This is where we are going to write our code. And once we open this up, it is going to take a minute or two. Okay, so till then I'll just drink a little bit. Not drink, like Coke. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. Okay, so here this is the environment that has been provided to us to write our code, guys. The first thing that we're going to do is click on this connect button. Okay, this is just a website, guys. This is just a website. So you have to connect this website to a particular server, to a particular computer from Google's end. And this button does that for you. So just click on it. it will connect you to the Google's computer itself. So it is right now, as you are able to see, it is connecting to a Google's computer. It will initialize all the resources for you guys, and then it will just connect you guys to the same. Okay, as you're able to see, it is going to take a few seconds, and now we are connected with a computer at Google. Okay, so this is where we're going to start writing our code, guys. Now, many of you guys are Indians, many of you guys might be from outside India as well. So in India, there is a tradition. Okay, we find it to be very auspicious to eat curd and sugar before doing anything new. In the same way, for programmers as well, whenever we start learning a new programming language, we try to write hello world in that language. Now let us write hello world inside of Python. So what do we want to do? We want to print hello world inside of Python. Python is one of the most easiest languages to learn. The reason being, it is very similar to English. Very similar to English, guys. So even if you don't know Python, just by reading through the entire code itself, you will be able to understand at least 30-40% of the code. Even if you don't even know coding. Why? Because it is very similar to English, guys. Let's see this right over here. Okay, so I'll just click on the place to write our code. I will write what we want to do. We want to print hello world, guys. So print print. Okay, what do we want to do? We want to print something. What do we want to do? What do we want to print? We want to print hello world, guys. So just put hello world. Okay, that's it. That's it. If you have ever learned any other programming languages, there is no requirement of any kind of semicolon. There is no requirement of anything fancy. Just write what do we want to do? We want to print something. What do we want to print? We want to print hello world inside of it. As simple as that, guys. And if you want to run this code, you can just click on this play button on the left hand side. You can do control plus enter as well. Okay, that will also print it up. Or you can do shift plus enter. All these three ways you will run your code. So I'm just doing shift enter right over here. So as you're able to see, we have run our first line of code and we are getting hello world right over here. Now, many of you guys, the first time programmers, will have this question: why are these parentheses required? Why do we require this quotation marks itself, double quotation marks? The reason for that is grammar. In a very simple term, the reason for that is grammar. Now, computers aren't that smart, guys. Why not Jupyter Notebooks? It is actually a format of Jupyter Notebooks itself. If you ever use Jupyter Notebooks, it is a format of Jupyter Notebooks. But when you're using actual Jupyter Notebooks, the application, you're again writing your code in your system. You're again writing your code that is utilizing the resources from your own computer. Please do not do this. It is not the right way of learning AI, data science, or deep learning, machine learning. Reason being, again, if your computer gets fried, it is a 50,000 rupees to a 1 lakh computer. You're losing that out. If your parents are Ambanis and Bambanis, that's fine. But my parents were not the same. So I had to get my own computers and everything. So right over here, guys, the reason why we are having these parentheses, these quotation marks, is something called as grammar. Now, whatever you are writing, it is being interpreted by your computer. The computer is trying to make sense of it. It is trying to understand it. And based on the understandings of the computer, it is providing you with an output that is hello world on your screen. Now, just like in English, my English is very bad. If I'm talking to you, my English is very terrible, but you guys are smart. You guys are very intelligent. So even though my English does not has the right grammar, does not has the right structure to it, you are still able to understand what I'm trying to say. But for a computer is not that smart as you guys. So if your English is not right, if your particular wordings, your grammar of the English is not right, the computer will not be able to understand what you are trying to say. The same thing goes on with programming languages as well. At the end of the day, these are also languages to communicate with the computer. So they have something called as syntax. Syntax is nothing else but a fancy term that is grammar for the programming languages. So these parentheses, these quotation marks are all a part of this syntax. And if you are not following the syntax properly, you are bound to get errors. You are bound to get problems itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. So fancy terms or technical terms or garbage terms or the multiple ways of saying it, right? Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is look at this particular bottle of Pepsi that I'm having in my hand. Everybody have drank like Pepsi or Coke, not Coke, okay, Coca-Cola wala Coke. Okay, I'm not promoting drugs right over here. Or maybe Thumbs Up, whatever is the favorite, right? My favorite is Coke. Okay, I don't know why, but I like that. I like the red color, I guess that's the reason why. But let us look at this particular bottle of Coke itself or Pepsi, right? There's a lot of different things on it. There is Pepsi written right over here. It is written that how many caffeine does it contains. It is written what is the price of this bottle. It is written how many milliliters is there, and so on and so forth. So around you every time, or let us look at this munch as well. Again, text is there, some numbers are there, multiple different things are there. There's also how much per gram, how much protein is there, 5.6 grams of protein is there in this. Okay, so all these different how can I explain, this data that is all around you, right? It's of various different categories. There are various different categories, guys. Some is text, some is decimal based data, some is number based data, some is like true or false values. So in every single programming languages as well, this data has been categorized into various different types, and we call these types as data types. Okay, various different types of data that exists in Python as well. Now every programming language is different, guys. Please try to understand this. I know many of you guys might have already studied C, C++, Java, JavaScript, and you guys will be like, oh, there is this particular data type in this language, in this particular data type, in this particular language we do things like this. If all the languages were the same, why do we require so many languages? Because every language has its own set of rules, its own set of characteristics itself. So maybe you guys have studied C, C++, Java, JavaScript. Do not think that the same data types are going to be there in Python as well. Python is going to have different data types according to what Python feels is right for itself. So Guido van Rossum is the person who actually created Python. If I am not wrong, if I am wrong, it's fine, it's history. Okay, but yeah, so he decided that there will be some data types that will be there inside of Python as well. Let's look at some of these basic data types itself, guys. Okay, so let's start. To check what is the data type of any object inside of Python, there is a particular code for that as well, type. Okay, type. Okay, you just put type, and in parenthesis you mention the object that you want to check the data type of. For example, I want to check what is the data type of hello world. I will run this. As you're able to see, it is showing as a data type of str or string. Okay, str or string data type. Now this data type can be created using both double quotation marks as well as single quotation marks as well. It is not compulsory to use double quotation marks, guys. First of all, try to understand this. So if I run this, it is still going to show me as a string itself. So both double quotation marks as well as single quotation marks are string. Next little thing that is going to be there, what does it contain? It can contain capital letters, it can contain small letters, it can contain spaces, numbers, it can contain special characters, it can contain anything inside of it. Anything inside of it, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. So if I run this, it is still going to be shown as a string itself. Now when I said that it can contain anything inside of it, what if it needs to contain other two double quotation marks inside of it? What if there is a particular string that is something like this? Shaurya said, wow. What if this is a particular string that I want to contain? If I try to create such a string inside of which there is another double quotation mark pair, what do you think will happen, guys? What do you guys think will happen? Again, guys, we are here to learn. We are not here to be right or wrong. We are here to learn. What do you think is going to happen with this, guys? The Pepsi is nice. Okay. Syntax error, string will appear. Okay, so let's try to run this and see it. Okay, best way of learning programming, run it. We are getting an error. We are getting a syntax error. That means there is a grammatical error right over here in our code, guys. A grammatical error right over here. So what are your thoughts on Devin? Anybody who is wasting their time thinking a lot about Devin, is an idiot. So please move on from Devin. Focus upon your studies. My suggestion would be right now, first try to become an entry level software engineer, and while making sure that you are utilizing the AI part to increase your productivity to get faster in what you're going to do in your company. Right now, for you guys, for freshers, your focus should just be getting into a company itself, not on these Instagram put in things in your head. Okay, so how, I'm very sorry. How can we make sure that this type of error is not happening right now, guys? So what is actually happening? How does Python figure out that you are creating a string? You start with a double quotation mark. Python will see this double quotation mark and will be like, oh, you want to create a string. I will find another double quotation mark to end the string itself. I'll try to find another double quotation mark to end the string. So it will go through the entire text. Okay, no double quotation mark, no double quotation mark, no double quotation mark. And it will end the string right over here once it finds the first double quotation mark itself. Then again it will show, okay, wow, okay, this is some random text that you have put up right over here. Python will not understand the meaning of this text. And again it finds another double quotation mark. It will be like, okay, this is an empty double quotation mark right over here. Now, how do we solve this problem? The first way of solving this problem is that if you want to contain double quotation marks inside of the particular text, create the particular string into single quotation marks. This is the first solution. Again, guys, this is a very interesting interview question. In your interviews, if you be like Devang has written the right answer. Devang has written the right answer. But if you directly come to the solution, it is usually not interpreted as right because you did not follow the steps. Always remember in your interviews, even if you know the right answer, go through the entire solution. That is what we are looking forward to. Okay, the first thing that you're going to do is, if you want to use double quotation marks in your string, you're going to create the string using single quotation marks. If you want to use a single quotation mark within the string, then you will create the string using a double quotation mark. Why? Because Python will then try to find only the double quotation mark to end the string. So it will ignore the single quotation marks right over here. But what if you want to create a particular string with both double quotation mark as well as single quotation marks itself? Wowzees. What are we going to do in this particular case itself if we want both double quotation marks as well as single quotation marks in our string? This is where the right answer given by Subrada, I'm very sorry if I'm butchering any names, guys, I'm not good with it, and Devang has pointed out very, very clearly that we're going to use something called as an escape character. We're going to use something called as an escape character, guys. Now, what is an escape character? Escape character is nothing else but a simple backticks or a backslash. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just place a backslash in front of the single quotation mark. I'm very sorry, a forward slash, right? It was a backslash. Even I'm confused right over here. Let me just rewrite this. Shaurya said backslash the quotation mark. Okay, great. Now it is working fine. So what we do is this backslash that is there is called as an escape character. Python again will start reading this particular line of text. You are having a double quotation mark. Python will be like, okay, I need to find another double quotation mark to end this string. I need to find another double quotation mark to end this string, guys. So it will go through the entire text. Okay, I'm going through the entire text and I reach this particular backslash. I reach particular backslash. I'm Python right now. I reach this particular backslash and I will be like, dude, this backslash is going to tell me that whatever is the next character, whatever character is next to this particular backslash has no special meaning for me. Whatever character is next to this backslash, I don't know what character that is. According to Python, Python does not know what is the next character. But whatever it is has no special meaning for Python. Ignore that, move on with your life. So Python will be like, okay, no issues, I'll just ignore the next particular character. It has no special meaning for me. Again, I will start finding the double quotation mark at the end of the particular string, and this is where I'm going to end my string. So as you're able to see, it will show no errors for me. It will not even show up. The backslash is a hidden character. It is not even going to show up on my screen itself, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand the use case of the backslash? The backslash basically tells Python that, dude, whatever is the next character, whatever character it might be, ignore it. It has no special meaning for you. It is not your ex that you are trying to find her. Move on. Okay, it is just some random particular thing that looks like your ex. So just move on and try to find the real double quotation mark itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Yes? Okay, great. Awesome, guys. Let's look at some other data types as well. The next data type that we are going to learn about is integers. What is integers in mathematics, guys? Negative numbers, positive numbers, and zero. That is how Python also defines integers. Okay, you are having negative numbers. Okay, that is also a particular integer, that is int. You're having positive numbers, that is also an integer, that is int. You're having zero, that is also an integer, guys, that is having int. So integers are just like what you have studied in mathematics. Nothing too different from that. The next particular thing that we're going to look at is floats or floating point number, guys. Okay, floats, I'm going to state this particular statement is a very, very, very important interview questions for freshers. Okay, again, for people like me, we don't get asked these questions in serious software engineering. I wish they would have asked these questions. I would have got better opportunities till now. But yeah, in the freshers, most of you guys are freshers. Most of you guys are going to find your interviews or for internships or for like fresher job roles itself. So this is a very important interview question. Floats are an approximation to the number they represent. I'm going to come back to this particular statement. I'm going to make sure that you guys know what to answer in the interview. Okay, this is a very interesting question, especially when it comes to banking sectors. Okay, banking sectors like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan and Chase, Wells Fargo, these will be the kind of companies that is going to ask these type of questions. So what are floats? Any decimal value. Minus 3.142. Okay, that is also a float or a floating point number itself. Plus 314, okay, that is also a float. What is this, guys? What is this? Is this a float or an integer? 3.0. Is this a float or an integer, guys? 3.0. Many of you guys are saying float. Why a float? Why is it a float, guys? That is a nice one. I will like this. Okay. Why is it a float, guys? Why not an integer? The reason for that is floats are defined at anything having a decimal point is a float. Anything having a decimal point is a float, guys. That is how it is usually defined. Okay, so always do remember this, no matter what happens, whether it is negative, positive, if there is a decimal point, even though it looks like an integer, it is still a float, guys. Okay, now let's come to the interview question. Okay, the interview question is going to be very simple. Either they will ask you this question in two particular formats. Either it will be an oral question, that why are floats referred to as like approximation to the number they represent. Okay, first of all, I want you guys to remember this statement. Floats are an approximation to the number they represent, guys. I want you guys to put this up in the live chat. Floats are an approximation to the number they represent. I want you guys to put this in the live chat, guys. I want you guys to write it down in the live chat because I want you guys to remember this. Floats are an approximation to the number they represent. Okay, good, good. Everybody please write it down. I want you guys to remember this. Okay. So the question is going to be formatted into two particular formats. Either they're going to just ask you, okay, why are floats an approximation to the number they represent? Or they're going to give you a statement. Print 0.23 plus Control C. Let me format the question. It is going to take me some while. Control V. Oh, sheet. Control V. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus Control C. Control V. Control V. Okay, so here what I've done is I am adding 0.23 30 times. This is the second way of asking this question. I'm going to add 0.23 30 times. What will be the answer, guys? What will be the answer? According to our mathematics that we have learned from our childhood, from first standard itself, what should be the answer of adding 0.23 30 times, guys? What should be the answer? 0.23 added 30 times. What will be the answer, guys? $6.9, right? Simple. 6.9 will be the answer. But if I run this, the answer that is coming up on my screen, okay, I have provided wrong number of 0.23s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I've just provided 18 0.23s. I need to add 2 more 0.23s. 0.23 plus 0.23. Maybe now I've done 20. I needed to do 30, right? Okay, I needed to add it 5 times. Okay, that was the problem. Control V, Control V. Now it will work fine. Okay. Sorry guys, by mistake. So, but the answer that is coming up on our screen is not 6.9, but it is actually 6.9, a factor of zeros and then 6. Where is this coming in from? I have not specified it anywhere, right? 0.23 added 30 times, 6.9. Very simple maths. Then what is happening right over here? Why are we getting 6.9 and then a lot of zeros and then 6? What is happening right over here? This will be the format in which the question might be framed to you. The answer to this again is that floats are an approximation to the number they represent. You will give this particular answer and then again they will ask why. So let's start with a hypothesis, okay, that floats are an approximation to the number they represent. What does this mean? This basically, okay, I will bring in the writing board so that I'm able to make you guys understand this in a little bit better sense than before. Give me a second. The reason for this is when you are actually writing 0.23, which is a float, okay, it is getting saved inside of Python as 0.23 0.0000000000 1, 2, 3 or something like this. Do not take this to your heart. Okay. Do not take this to your heart, guys. This is your heart. I'm breaking it up. Do not take this to your heart. This is just an example. I don't know exactly what Python saves it as, but just using it as an example, your 0.23 is actually saved a little bit greater than 0.23. A little bit greater than 0.23. That is how floats are actually stored inside of computers. If you write 0.69, it will be stored as 0.69 0.00000000 1, 2, 3 or something like this. Now the question arises, why does Python do this? Why is Python doing this? Why is Python storing 0.23 of floats as an approximation to the number they represent, not as the actual number? The reason for this is, guys, precision. As Mani has already said, precision, guys. Precision. What do you mean by precision? Let's take up an example. 0.8 multiplied by 0.8. What should be the answer, guys? 0.8 multiplied by 0.8, guys. What should be the answer? What should be the answer, guys? How is it 0.64? Make me understand it. How is your answer 0.64? How do you guys think that the answer of 0.8 multiplied by 0.8 will be 0.64? It is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because here you are only having one decimal point. Here you are only having one decimal point. That means your spacing right over here is just of these two itself. That's it. You're having just these two blanks. After the decimal point, you're having just one blank right over here. So your answer is not going to be 0.64, but it is only going to be 0.6. Because you don't have a space to store 4. You don't have a space to store 4, guys. Why? Because both your particular items are of rank. So in mathematics, again, not using any kind of gibberish, they don't have space to store another decimal point. So if you are doing 0.23 multiplied by 0.23, it will only be able to show you the answer till 2 decimal points. That's it. The rest is lost. So your answer is not precise. Your answer is not precise. It is not actually equal to what it should be. So that is the reason why, for making the answers much more precise inside of Python, instead of storing 0.8 as 0.8, we'll store it as 0.800000123, which will be multiplying by 0.800000123. When you will be multiplying it, you now have a lot of empty spaces. You now have a lot of empty space, and this 0.123123 multiplication will be so small that in most of the cases it will be ignored. It is so small that Python will just ignore it. So it will show you the exact answer, that is 0.64. But what have we done right over there, guys? What have we done right over here? When we added 0.23 30 times, we added 0.23 30 times, right? So this 123 at the end, this 0.0000123 at the end is also getting added 30 times. This is also getting added 30 times, right, guys? So now that 0.0000123 is getting added 30 times continuously, it is becoming a big number that Python is not able to ignore anymore. It is becoming such a big number that Python is not able to ignore it anymore, and hence when you look at the answer that is showing up on your screen, hence when you are showing the answer on your screen, you're getting the 6 at the very end. Because now that number is so big according to Python that we cannot just ignore it. But still, what do you think is much more closer? Just having an answer as 0.6, that's it, when you do 0.8 multiplied by 0.8, or having an answer that is 0.640000000567 or something like that. What is closer? What is much more precise? This, right? That is the reason why Python does this. Okay? When I run it, it is 0.64, a lot of zeros and 1. The reason for that is, again guys, many of you guys are asking why are we putting 1, 2, 3 or something like that at the very end. That is just an example. How Python actually stores your floats as an approximation to the number they represent is actually dependent upon what OS you are using, what hardware you are using, okay, what generation of hardware you are using, okay, which kind of software is your Python based off of, okay, how old or how new it is. So it depends upon a many number of things on what exactly is Python storing your particular things as. For our case, I'm just taking up an example as 1, 2, 3. Do not take it to your heart. It is just an example. Treat it as an example itself. Nobody knows exactly what Python is storing it as because it is computer dependent. Okay, every computer has different things itself. Have you guys understood this concept of precision, guys? Please let me know. Have you guys understood this concept of precision, guys? Please let me know. Yes? Now let me give you a googly. Just like, so today we posted a particular, okay, have you guys visited the Instagram page of DevTown? Have you guys visited the Instagram page of DevTown, guys, at any particular point of time? If not, please do visit it. We try to see, learning is one particular part that we do on the boot camps, but we don't want to be like that. We want it to be fun. We want it to be interesting to you guys as well. So daily we try to post some new memes that we are able to find, or some particular advices that we are able to find right over here on Instagram. Please go through them. Okay, go through them. And if you have any questions that you want me to answer, or you want Ashish to answer, something like that, just post it up in the live chat, guys. We will be more than happy to take up those questions privately and answer them as well. So the comment sections for all these reels are intended to be so that you guys are able to ask your questions. For example, somebody asked, right, Devin AI. So just you can put it up in the live chat and we will be there to answer them. We will be there to help them out. And in the least, if you guys like a particular reel or you loved it, comment it out. Okay, so that we are able to find much more similar reels as that. So today, finally, we posted one on the IPL. This was something that we found it very funny. I found it to be very funny. So I thought that I will just post it up right over there. Okay, just go through them. Let me know. And okay, let's continue from right over there, guys. Okay. So now I'm going to give you a googly right over there, guys. What is a googly? We were going in one direction. Now I'm going to change the direction for that. What do you think will happen if I do 0.23 multiplied by 30? What do you think will happen, guys, if I do 0.23 multiplied by 30, guys? Not adding it 0.23 30 times. I'm multiplying it. So this is the second question that is usually not asked, but you guys should do it. Okay. What do you think is going to happen? Am I going to get the same answer? 6.900000006? Am I going to get 6.9? Am I going to get some different answer? I'm going to just, my application is just going to crash or something like that. Like, what is going to happen? Now, according to what we just learned, that floats are an approximation that the number represent. According to that, it should be the same answer, right? 6.9, a lot of zeros, and then 6. That should be the answer, the same answer. But this is where we go wrong. If we run this, the answer comes up to be exactly 6.9. What happened right over there? The answer shouldn't be 6.9, right? We just learned all this right now 2 seconds ago, and now the answer is back to being 6.9. What happened? So this is where the concept of optimization comes into place. So Python also knows that for many people, this 0.0000001 or 6 might be a fault. Okay, and they want to have some go around through this to find a solution to get the exact answer. Python knows this, okay, for a very long period of time. So Python said, what is multiplication at the end of the day? How do you define multiplication? Multiplication is nothing else but repeated addition, right? Multiplication. What is multiplication, guys? Multiplication is nothing else but repeated addition. So when you are adding 0.23 30 times, Python did not know that you are adding the same number 30 times. How will Python know that? Are you telling Python that I'm adding the same number 30 times? For Python, it is the 30 numbers that I need to add together. So every time it is adding the numbers, it is also adding what is there at the end. The 1, 2, 3 as well. It is continuously getting added right over there. So there's no optimization that you were able to do when you were adding stuff. But multiplication, when you are writing 0.23 multiplied by 30, you are telling Python to add 0.23 30 times the same number, repeated addition. So Python was like, okay, let's do one thing. Let's optimize this. Every time that I'm going to, so for doing this, every time I'm going to add 0.23000123 plus 0.2300000123, I'm going to add them both together, 0.46 0.0000246. I'm going to refresh all these zeros. I'm going to refresh all these zeros, convert them back to 0.000000123, and then I'm going to again add 0.23 0.000000123 once again. This is the optimization that the Python did. That after every addition, I'm going to refresh all the digits after the number itself. I'm going to convert it back into the basics. So now that number is again so small that Python is ignoring it. Again, that number is so small that Python is right now ignoring it. Are you guys able to understand this? Like what optimization Python did with multiplication? Again, multiplication is repeated addition. So Python already knew that I'm going to add the same number 30 times. So it is able to provide this optimization right over there. Whereas in addition, Python does not know that it is adding the same number every single time. Okay, for Python, it's just like, okay, 0.23 plus 0.23, then 0.46 plus 0.23. So Python does not know that you are adding the same number every single time itself. That is the reason why this optimization works and you get the right answer, the exact answer right over there. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Yes? Vardha, to make that optimization, you are having multiplication. That is the reason why multiplication exists. To make that optimization for you. Okay? Okay. Great. Let's move on to the next bit. Again, this is where the entire interview question ends. This is a very important interview question. If you have not written down the notes, please make sure that you are able to do that and practice this out after the class as well. Let's move on to the last particular data type that we are going to learn. Okay, type true and type false. Do you guys remember this logic gates, guys? Do you guys remember logic gates, physics? True, you had that AND gate, OR gate, NOR gate, XOR gate, NOT gate, all these gates that you had, and you had these ones and zeros that you used to use. The same thing happens inside of Python as well. But that ones are called as true and your false is your zeros. Okay. Now, this basically, this is what we call as the Boolean values. Okay. That is true and false values. Now, Python is a case sensitive programming language. What do I mean by case sensitive? Case sensitive is basically you are for commerce students or any other students who don't know logic gates at the end of the day, don't worry about it. If somebody says there are more than two genders in the world, that is false. If there is somebody who says there are only two genders in the world, that is true. So true and false is also existing inside of your normal vocabulary as well. That is what it basically means. You don't have to understand it from the concept of Boolean or logic gates. Just understand it as true and false. That is what it refers to. Okay. So again, guys, let's come back to the topic. For Python, Python is a case sensitive programming language. So if you try to write something like type and then true, this will give you an error. Because true does not exist. Capital TRUE is true. Okay, it has some value to Python. Small true is not. Right? Sir, you will offend the rainbow community. I respect the rainbow community. Many of my friends are gays and lesbians as well. But again, that is their sexual orientation. That is not their gender. There's a difference between that. People confuse the two and they want other people to follow it as well. That is a mental disability according to me. But yes, being gay or being lesbian or being bisexual is their sexual orientation. That is not a mental disability. That is basically their orientation right over there. But don't confuse it with genders. Genders are only two. Okay. So right over here, guys, you are having, always do remember this, Python is a case sensitive language. For Python, you are going to have capital T and small t as two separate values, guys. They have two different meanings to Python. They are not one and the same, guys. They are not one and the same. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Yes? I think so that was easy to understand, not that difficult, right? I hope so. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, that is variables in Python. Now, variables is again something that you guys have been learning. Oh, next steps. Explain error. Oh, this is nice. This is new. This is not something that I have used a lot. Next. Except ish. this is nice. So even like the AI that is there right over here will help you learn if you're getting errors. It will help you like explain the error. It will go through the error itself. That's very nice right over here. Okay, so I got confused. Okay, so variables, right? You have been learning variables from your childhood, right? Ram had 6 bananas, Sham had 7 bananas, Ram ate Sham's banana. Okay, that sounds very bad. But yeah, so Ram is equals to 6, Sham is equals to 5, and then you will be like Ram minus Sham and all this kind of crap. So these Ram and Sham that you use to store some values inside of it were basically your variables. You had these questions, right? Find the value of x. Which should, in your real life, you shouldn't be finding a value of x. That is the reason why that was your x, because there was no value in them. Okay, but still, right? These variables you have been learning for a very long period of time. Variables were created for just one particular purpose, that was to store values inside of them. Okay, to store values inside of them, guys. So right over here, guys, we're going to do that. Okay, to create a variable inside of Python is very simple. For example, month, month is equals to 12, and that's it. That is how you create a variable inside of Python. Now 12 is going to be stored inside of the value month itself, right? 12 is going to be stored inside of the variable month. As simple as that. Now if I want to print month, it is going to print the value stored inside of it. It is not going to store, like, yeah, it is going to like print whatever the value is present inside of the term, inside of the variable month. That is 12. That is what we declared right over there. If you try to use a particular variable that you haven't declared, this is called as declaring a variable. Where you're declaring that, okay, there's a variable called as month, which is the value 12 inside of it. If you try to use a variable that is not declared up till this point of time, for example, print x, you're going to get an error. Okay, for Python is like, oh, where did this x come from? This was not there, right? So name error, name x is not defined. You haven't defined what is x. The same error you got it right over here as well. Name true is not defined. For Python, that was a variable name, which you had not yet defined right now. Now again, Python is a case sensitive programming language. So all these variable names will be different. Okay. Harsh Prasad, please skip all this shitty part. Harsh Prasad, I have no qualms in that. I can definitely skip the entire topic and be like the bootcamp is over, because this is way too basics for me. But again, not everybody coming to this bootcamp already knows Python or ever has learned programming as well. There might be some people who have already learned it. But I have to take into the consensus of being that everybody entering this bootcamp should be able to learn everything. Okay, so that is the reason why I'm starting from the basics itself. Okay, let's start. Okay, so str, capital S, small t, small r, capital S, capital T, small r, capital S, small t, capital R. All these will be considered as different variable names. All these will be considered as different variable names, guys. Okay, because again, Python is a case sensitive programming language. Do we need to declare the data types? Game, have I declared the data type right over here while creating the variable name? If I have not done that, then you also don't have to do it, right? That is the reason why Python is easy to learn, because these complicated things like other programming languages is not there inside of Python. Okay, the next thing that we will do is that what should we do next? We have learned a little bit about variables or data types. Okay, what should be the next thing that I should be teaching you guys? See, anything that will come up while learning the project, I'll teach you guys right over there itself. Some basics that might be needed at a later point of time. What should I do? Should I teach that or should I leave it? Okay, this is not a Python based bootcamp. Okay, first of all, please do remember this. Many of you guys are saying oops, operators, functions, arrays, tuples, input. This is not a Python bootcamp. Okay, this is a project based bootcamp itself. Our aim is to learn object detection. Our aim is to learn all the project based approach itself. So I'm not here to teach you guys like everything about Python. For that, yesterday itself I've given you guys the notes. You guys can follow that if you want to learn oops, you want to learn inputs in Python, outputs in Python, everything. You can just go through the entire notes. It's already there. in this bootcamp, what I am going to do is I'm just going to teach you guys the basics of Python first, so that it's done and dusted. And whatever new things that will be coming up while doing the project, I'll be explaining you guys right over there. For example, let's assume that I've used arrays somewhere. So I'll explain you guys what are arrays, how to use them, some basic information about arrays right over there while using it. So that we are not able to waste time, we are able to focus much more upon the project itself. Okay? Okay, great. Anything else do we need to learn that is not... I'm very confused right now. Okay, so let us learn one simple thing itself. For example, 5 plus 4. Okay, we get an answer of 9 on our screens, right? 5 plus 4 is 9. What do you think will be the answer of hello plus world? Is it going to be 24? Is it going to be 19? Is it going? What is it going to be? What is it going to be, guys? Because 5 plus 4, we know it is 9. What about 5 plus 4.2? We know that that is going to be 9.2. We know that. But what about this hello plus world? This hello plus world, when you are going to run it, it is going to give you a single string called as hello world. This is called as concatenation. The same operator, when used for integers or floating point numbers, does addition for you. The same particular operator, when you use it for strings, it will give you a concatenation. Concatenation basically means that you are attaching two words together. You can concatenate as many strings as you want. For example, right over here, I'll put up another string, okay, space plus world. Okay, so you're having hello plus space plus world. So this will give you a single string that is hello space world, and so on and so forth. So this is called as concatenation. So same particular operator can be used for multiple different purposes as well. Okay, so that is something that you guys needed to learn. Okay, so we'll leave it at this. Okay, right now, because I have to take up the attendance as well, we'll leave it at this. What we will do in our tomorrow's class is that we are not going to dive into the theoretical part tomorrow. I want to continue with the practicals tomorrow as well. So for practicals, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain you guys some of the basics of deep learning, because deep learning is going to be involved a lot, guys, from tomorrow onwards. So first half we'll do it theoretical. Okay, we'll not give more than 30 minutes to cover up the theory. Okay, theory we'll do it in 30 minutes, not more than that. We'll set up a timer. Okay, as soon as I start the teaching aspect, 30 minutes we'll give it to the theory. Okay, I'll teach you guys about a little bit about AI, a little bit about machine learning, and a lot about deep learning. Okay, so it is going to be very fast tomorrow. And then in the next 30 minutes, we are going to create our very first deep learning, very small, but very first deep learning project. Okay, sir, OpenCV. अरे भाई, तुम क्या, तुम्हें झोपड़पट्टी बनाने नहीं आती, तुम बुर्ज खलीफा बनाने के लिए सीधा क्यों निकल जाते हो बार बार? रुको रुको, baby steps, guys. Take up baby steps. Okay, we are not going to directly jump into the project. We are going to learn everything small by small. Today we learned a little bit about Python. Tomorrow we'll learn a little bit about deep learning. We'll create some small particular thing to understand about neural networks. Day after tomorrow we'll learn about CNNs. Okay, convolutional neural networks. Again, first half a little bit theory, second half practicals on CNNs. Then the fourth particular day, we are going to dive into a little bit of OpenCV. So OpenCV theoretical part is going to be like 5 minutes. Then we'll immediately start with the practicals, and then we'll move on to the project. Again, step by step. Do not jump from like point A to point B directly. Your pant will get torn in the middle. Okay, take up baby steps. Then you will survive. Your pant will also survive. Okay, so let me give you guys the attendance for today. I was taking up the boot camp, but I really want to eat the munch that is in front of me. It's really very tempting right over there, like to have something kept in front of you and then you are like, I can't eat it. Okay, so you will be getting 5 minutes to fill up your attendance today. Okay, 5 minutes to fill up your attendance today, guys. So please make sure you are filling up the attendance on time. If you are not able to do that, the attendance link will be closed and you will just miss out on your attendance. From tomorrow onwards, the attendance can be taken up anywhere in the middle of the class as well. Okay, It's not compulsory that I'll be taking up the attendance at the end of the class. It can be taken up in the middle of the class as well, guys. Okay, so I provided you guys with the attendance link in the live chat, as you are able to see right over here. You're having 5 minutes to fill up the attendance. Okay, 5 minutes to fill up the attendance. The attendance link will be closed exactly at 9:22. The attendance link will be closed exactly at 9:22, guys. So please start filling up the attendance. We'll meet in our tomorrow's class and we'll continue from right over there. Again, the attendance link is in the live chat. The attendance link is going to be closed at 9:22, guys. So please start filling up the attendance, guys. And we'll meet in our tomorrow's class and we'll continue from right over there. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.